Thank you so much, Dawn. We are so excited to present 99 West in Bay Harbor Island, which is a very small, boutique, beautiful island. So I can't wait till you're able to tell us about these wonderful projects that you guys are building there, and also what's going on in the island. So Dawn, take it away, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you so much for introducing me to your clients and to the other agents. We look forward to taking care of all of you. One of the things that's amazing about Bay Harbor Islands is the exclusivity. We are just literally practically a footbridge away from Bay Harbor. Mm-hmm. Bell Harbor. It is absolutely beautiful. Walking distance to the beach, walking distance to the best shops. And since there's been such a large increase in the amount of building that's gone on in the area, we're getting wonderful restaurants. We have a Michelin star restaurant. As a matter of fact, the St. Regis is now recommending some of the small little restaurants that are here that have been best kept secrets. And it's probably one of the few areas that you can still walk to about to everything. You can walk to the store, you can walk to the food market, you can walk to the boutiques, you can walk to having your hair done, your nails, etc., all within very close by.
And let's not forget, it also has its own private fire department and police department.
That is correct, especially for a small island. That's a big deal. So, and if your car does not belong on this island, believe me, they're watching everything.
So the security is amazing.
We used to have a golf cart with our name on it, and we no longer could use it because it was considered advertising, and they were very strict about that. The other thing is, even though there is so much building on the island, there is a moratorium that you can only build your buildings a certain height. So no other building is going to block anyone else's view. Anything that's new will all be the same height.
Right.
The other thing is also interesting is that you can't start building before 9 a.m. and you must stop before 6. And you cannot build on the weekends. So
yeah, that's going to be great, in your presentation to show them, because I know that your building is being built on the west side, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead and show them, some pictures of what you're building, because it's absolutely gorgeous.
So this is just to show you that literally walking distance from our building, there is a community tennis court. So if anyone wanted to go play tennis, they certainly can. There's no charge for it. We have nearby golf nearby. And this is just an example of King Concourse. It has everything. Like I said, you have exclusivity. You're right near Bell Harbor. It's all in the neighborhood of our building. There's even a free car that is a Tesla that literally you can just go on an app, pick it up. It's called a freebie. You can actually utilize it even if you don't live on the island at this point, which no one seems to know about it. But it can take you to Bell Harbor, take you to the store, it can take you to everything. This is just an overview. It's a drone shot right over Indian Creek facing Bay Harbor Islands, which there are 2 islands. So if you can see this area right here that I'm kind of circling around, these are the single family homes. This is obviously the ocean. This is Hallover, and our building where it's being built is going to be right in this section right here. So we are overlooking all the single family homes, which is great because right above this is going to be all of Biscayne Bay. So our taller, up on our rooftop, and as well as probably my 5th, 6th, and 7th floors are all going to be over all the houses, and you're going to see straight over, which is going to be quite beautiful.
And also, that's the sunset side. So you see our gorgeous,
beautiful sunsets. And look, let's face it, even if you're living in the building all year round, let's face it, in the wintertime, we want to have sun on our pools. You're coming on vacation. The last thing you want is to be freezing in February. Someone's coming on vacation and your pool is completely in the shade.
No.
And what's nice is that we are going to have a full service in terms of a full summer kitchen that the residents can utilize on the rooftop. And that's going to be on the eastern part of the building, which is nice because that's going to have shade. There'll be a pergola up there and it'll be quite nice. This is just an example of the building. These are the existing buildings that are currently here. And this is our building. This is going to be slightly different in terms of the boat slips. It'll be something similar. It's just, if you notice here, there's this big long walkway that will not be there because that meant our boat slips would have to be smaller. Okay. So our boat slips range in price between $300 and $350. We left them to be sold for only our waterfront properties left, which is why I have 7 left. And if you notice on our rooftop right here, there's a beautiful pergola here, as well as right here. It will be a saltwater pool, which is great, as well as heated. And the little thing I want to bring to your attention, can you see that I'm making it bigger?
Yeah.
Do you see this right here? We happen to have 6 private rooftop decks that are part of the penthouses. They will get their own summer custom kitchen on the roof, private for lounging, for entertaining. I do have 1 rooftop deck that I can sell. So if someone's interested in that, I do have the ability for that, which is wonderful. This just shows you how Bay Harbor Life, you come over the big bridge. This bridge, there is a toll, but if you live on the island, you can pay one price for the entire year. It's like a couple $100, and you can go over as many times as you want for no fee. This is an example. This is an older map. Right. And one of the things I would tell you is that, for example, I don't know if are you familiar with Reforming Pilates?
Yes.
Okay, so Reforming Pilates as well as La Salon are considered to be one of the top Pilates and hair salons in all of Miami. We have partnered with them of being the official Pilates studio, as well as La Salon, the official salon. So as soon as your buyers go into contract, you will automatically get 20% off hair and products at La Salon, which is now just moved to across the street of King Concourse. So they are right here. And Reforming Pilates, once our concierge is there, they will have special packages just for 9900 West. So that's a great opportunity. Both La Salon and Reforming Pilates do have the ability to come to our building if that's necessary. You know, obviously there'll be a charge, but do have the ability of coming to the building and servicing the buyers that live here. The developer is Horizon Group from New York. They've had a relationship with Douglas Elliman for over 30 years. It's important I mention that because, as we know, developers in Florida, every developer is not created equally. Our developers are just fantastic. I love working for them. They have done multiple projects. I know a lot of their projects in New York. I live literally right down the block in my place in New York from the developer. They use Franklin Benyon Architects, which is local since the 50s, to Bay Harbor Island. And the interior designer and the inspiration was from Craft Studios from Buenos Aires. The landscape design is also affiliated with the architect. The building is going to have 23 residents. We only have waterfront left. What is important to note is over here on the right-hand side here, do you see how I have something on the second floor? This is going to be our residence lounge. So anyone that lives in the building can utilize the residence lounge. We have a full working kitchen with high-end Miele appliances, hardwood floors, balcony, a TV. So if you want to entertain or have a private chef, you all have that ability. Our residence, which separates us from some of the other projects, it's important that you note, all of our residents start on the 3rd floor. So the 2nd floor is just for parking and for the amenities, and we'll get through the amenities. You will have this nice pergola down here. There'll be a sunset area that people can, sit, have coffee, etc. This is a better depiction of the building itself with the balconies. This is my one line. Just think of going backwards, Natalie. You're looking at the back of the building. Sorry, I tried to put my phone on silent.
That's okay.
Sorry. Just think of going backwards. 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
So instead of going 1, 2, 3 from left to right, it is going right to left. Okay. So this is my one line, which is a southwest exposure. Beautiful, beautiful balconies. This is penthouse 1, which is still available. It is not listed, but I certainly can release it if you have a buyer. And then I have 601. Both of these residents run east to west. They run the entire southern part of the entire building. You're looking at almost 3,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms plus a den. It is just an exquisite, exquisite apartment.
So those are flow-through units.
What?
Those are flow-through units.
Flow-through units, yes.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Really, really nice. And one of the things that's also nice about this developer, he does do customization depending on where we are in the building process. So he is able to combine. So as an example, my 6th floor, we haven't really released yet. This is the waterfront area here. I can combine any of these residents. So my 6th floor. So if you have somebody that has a larger budget of maybe anywhere from 7 to 15 million, they could have almost 6,000 square feet. It would certainly be the largest waterfront. It also, each of them are separated. Each of them come with 2 parking spots. So if you do combine, you would get 4 parking spots and 2 storage units.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Once again, I already went into, we have 10 boat slips. We only have 7 left.
And how big are the boat slips?
Up to 30 feet.
Okay, great. And keep in mind, that is very close to the sandbar, which is very popular to go and enjoy your boating. But also, you have such quick access to the ocean.
Oh, yes. But one of the things that separates us from some of the other buildings is that we do not have any fixed bridges to get out to that sandbar. So that is very important, because if you're on the other side of the island, which is on the south side of Cane Concourse, you have to go all the way around the island, which can be quite long. But we're in a very quiet spot. So over at the point that faces, so there are some projects that are over facing that over. It can be quite noisy during the summer months, where we still can maintain a nice quiet area to look over your balcony, but yet you could paddleboard out to that area very easy. We will have over here a spot for a paddleboard or possibly a kayak if someone was interested, or if they wanted to buy a boat slip, you could certainly put jet skis there, etc. This is a picture I took just from my iPhone almost a year ago. This was just to see what it was going to be like on ground level. So if you're sitting at the Sunset Grill on the bottom on the first floor, of what you'd actually be looking at. Since then, by the way, a lot of these houses have actually been renovated and redone. This was a home that was for sale not too long ago for over $15 million. So it's quite nice. This was taken just about a month ago, and as you can see, that home I was telling you about is now being renovated. This was as they were pouring. I took this from the building next door, and I try to bring this up to people, Natalie, because so many people are showing renderings. I think it's so important that they really see what they're getting, and they're not just some random drone units. We really want them to see exactly. This is as we were pouring the foundation on the first floor. Obviously, it's only a small area. It's a much larger section. This picture was taken just a week ago. This is taken from the second floor. So this would be the view from your residence lounge. Obviously, you're not getting the whole piece of it. There's a pretty palm tree there, and you can see how nice and wide the waterway is there, which is quite nice. This is the boat slips would come out here, just so you have some idea. This is a brand new seawall, which is also important to note, because we want to make sure that everybody understands that if you do buy a boat slip, that you're going to have a brand new seawall that's going to help support it, etc. There will
also, that's extra cost when my clients are looking at like an older building. Those are costs that actually are being looked into very seriously right now.
Right. As a matter of fact, this is when they were still doing it. This is before the seawall, just so you know. But as a matter of fact, what happened was When we started redoing our entire seawall, the building next door ended up redoing their seawall at the same time. This was taken from the building next door, just as an example. This is all of downtown Brickell area. Obviously, this wasn't much of a clear day, but once again, this is to show you the fixed bridge. To get out to haul over, it's the opposite direction. This was just also to note when they had taken all part of the land down, is that, believe it or not, on the opposite side between us and the other waterway, we only have buildings that are no more than 3 or 4 stories. So our building goes to 8 floors, which gives you a lot of additional breeze because we don't have a building that's blocking us.
And not too much of a breeze where you cannot enjoy sitting outside on your balcony, because that's another thing a lot of people don't understand is when you're in one of those sky high buildings, the wind is so powerful you can't even be out there.
No, it's crazy. Agreed. Anyway, so let's see. So this is the front of the building. Now, if you notice, I wrote here on the side, because I know you're recording this. So I wanted to give you a couple cues that would be helpful so that when you replay this for your clients, that you'd be able to remember, Penthouse 1 and 601 are flow through. So this is the eastern part of the building. This entire section, obviously with the exception of Penthouse 1 and 601, because we haven't released them yet, everything else is completely sold out on this side of the building. You're going to have this section here. You have people who park on the second floor will go up this ramp. People who are parking on the first floor will go this way. You will have a 2-story entryway, as well as you can see here where you're going to have the gym, which would be a southeast exposure. Once again, I told you 23 residents between 3 and 4 bedrooms. They go all the way up to 3,360 square feet. Which I mentioned you can combine the residents. We do have EV charging stations, a mailroom, high-speed elevators. This is a pet-friendly building, but we're also going to have a pet spa. So on the second floor, if you want to give your dog a bath, you can bring your dog right into this little spa area. You'll have your own separate sink, so you'll never need to worry about dirtying your own bathtub, which I don't need to tell you is a godsend. This is a good depiction of the front of the building as well. You're going to have a beautiful water feature. Ignore the 98 here. But you are going to have a nice water feature in the front of the building as you come in. You will have this 2-story entryway, 24-hour concierge. Now, one of the things that also separates us from a lot of the other buildings on the island is that you can park your own car. You get 2 deeded parking spots per apartment. Plus, we're also going to have valet. So if you don't want to park your car, you can have someone park it. You want to move your Bentley and you want to park it yourself, you can. They are tandem parking spots, which are nice because a lot of people in this area, because it is a big walkable area, some of them do have larger cars, and the tandem parking spots does give them the ability to be able to have, plenty of room. I will tell you, we've already measured it out. You can put 2 cyber trucks behind each other without an issue. Once again, your 2-story entryway from your lobby. You can see all the natural light that would be facing east. This is your second floor. And once again, you're going to have over 5,000 tropical landscaping throughout the building, 9,000 square feet of expansive terraces on the roof. You're going to have the dog spa. You're going to have a spa room with a cold plunge, a children's playroom, rooftop deck. You're going to have a beach club membership, which is fantastic. The developer will pay for it for the first year. You're going to have a storage unit that is deeded on your floor. Now, it's great because it's not one of those cages. It's literally, you're going to open the door and half of it's going to be under air. You'll have bicycle storage, etc. You're going to have a gym. Oh, I went in the gym today. I actually was in the building itself. We were showing a buyer had flown in who had already purchased, and we were able to walk onto the second floor today, and we actually stood right here in this section on the concrete, which was interesting.
That's awesome. How many floors are built right now?
Oh, we're on the 4th floor now.
Great.
Yep, so we're going to deliver next summer, which is super exciting. We do have a children's playroom, but I will tell you, these are renderings. It is not going to be as large as this room. It's also probably not going to be decorated so primary colors, because what we found is that there hasn't been a lot of children. Although we do have some children that will be moving into the building, we felt that it probably should be more geared to a more like teen situation, or if somebody wanted to go in there and do a Zoom, you know what I'm saying? So it's still a children's playroom.
Yeah.
But what they really did is they made it smaller because they put in generators in this building.
Okay.
So it's important to note, not every building has a generator, and we do. So this is your sauna with a plunge, cold plunge. This is going to be your residence lounge. Ignore the trees here. You're going to have water view here. Just, I guess when they did the renderings, someone got a little overzealous with the copy and paste.
What's the floor? What is
second floor? That's the second floor.
Oh, okay.
But it's going to have here, you're going to see all Miele appliances. It's going to have a Miele stove. So if you want to entertain or have a private chef or have a private dinner, you all have the ability to do that.
I love the natural colors.
Yeah, they really did a nice job. From Buenos Aires, they really went with the natural colors. This is the roof. The only difference is, this is the important thing to note. This is the brand new correct rendering for the pool. There are some other ones that are floating out there. The most important thing to note is that the hot tub and spa is inside the pool like this. It's not separate. So you see how it's in here? They're going to have like a sun deck here, and then you'll have the spa area right here, which is
and that's that Ventura that they're looking at. The view.
Yes, they are. And you can see, that's what I'm saying, this is up on the 8th floor. And then remember, it's going to be quite quiet because 6 apartments have their own private rooftop decks.
Amazing.
So this is the example. This is my older rendering. We see how it's separate. But it's more important to note I have some clues I added for you, Natalie, just in case somebody asks. The pool is quite large. It's a 20 by 50 pool.
Okay.
So that's nice to know. You are going to have a community barbecue area. So if somebody wants to have a barbecue, you can. It is going to have a nice pergola with a table outside, which is going to be quite nice. And here are your residents. We've just recently, since we released the waterfront, we have also updated all of our renderings and what's being featured in our apartments. This is a penthouse finish through and through. What separates the penthouse finishes from the regular waterfront, the only difference is, see how this is a floor-to-ceiling wine cooler? The non-penthouses will have just an under-the-counter wine cooler. And this here happens to be a 48-inch refrigerator as opposed to a 36. But they are all the same Miele appliances, bronze, smoked bronze glass, all lit. This is Taj Mahal quartzite. These are all Italian-made cabinets, French white oak, solid. They are very heavy. We have samples in the sales gallery. The attention to detail, the quality is really remarkable. That also sets us apart from some of the other ones. The fixtures themselves, they will give you the boxes up on top so you can personalize your own apartment. If you notice, Natalie, on the right-hand side, I added for you today, do you see it says 01 line southwest? This is an example so that you can just remember which line I'm showing you in terms of the renderings. You're going to have wonderful large windows. On the exact floor plans, these floor plans, actually, let me just grab really quickly.
And while you do that, I'll let them know that this floor-to-ceiling windows are so important, and they are hurricane impact proof. because all the older buildings, they don't necessarily have these floor-to-ceiling windows. This is what brings in all of that natural light and makes it look so luxurious.
Exactly. And the other thing is the developer also is going to have the wiring available, the junction boxes, so that if somebody wants to have electric shades, they will have the boxes there, and obviously it'll get wired. But what I want to bring up is in the living room, okay, which is the living room in the great room area, which is this whole area right here. Just as an example, this is pretty rare in an apartment of this size. The great room is almost 30 feet. It's 29 feet by 8 by almost 22 feet. That is a massive dining room entertaining area. The developer, is from New York. He believes that luxury is not 4 bedrooms and 2,000 square feet. He believes that you should have an entertaining area, that you should have something that you can enjoy, even if you're only there on the weekends and you want to have family or friends. He doesn't feel you should be living in a cramped environment. In addition to your great room being 29 and a half feet by almost, it's by 21.1%, 21 feet by 1 inch, is that does not include the kitchen, which is an additional 21 feet by 10 and a half. So if you add that 21 and that 29.8, you're looking at 51 feet between your living room and your kitchen space. I mean, that is just remarkable to me. Really, really nice. And then of course you have 3 bedrooms plus a den. The developer will entertain putting a door on the den for those that have requested it, depending on, where we are once again in construction. Now, this is my 03 line, which is going to be my northwest exposure. I will tell you, these are just, these are not actual depictions, just so you know, of the waterway. I just don't want people to get confused. These are quote unquote renderings. The skyline here is not accurate. What is accurate is the way it's laid out, etc. Because we don't have mountains in South Florida, as someone pointed out to me. If I didn't mention it, no one would know. But we do like to really tell the buyers what they're actually getting, and we don't want to ever mislead anybody. Residents are going to have 9-foot ceilings. That's because there's a moratorium on Bay Harbor Island for the height of the buildings. We are going to have full-size LG washer and dryers, which is great. We're going to have full bathrooms and a powder room. We're going to have private storage spaces, and each of our penthouse residents, which I mentioned before, come with a private rooftop terrace, fully equipped with a summer kitchen. And that means there's a barbecue, a refrigerator, and a sink. Just so you know, Natalie, look, I just want to bring this up. If you look at this picture right here, do you notice how the tub here is square?
Right.
It is not square. This is the upgraded picture.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
And did they also smoke the window?
Yeah, some of them. Yes, some of them. Actually, behind that window, there is a smoked glass. So when you looked in the beginning of the building, you'll see like these smoked glass in the front of the building as a design feature in the building. So you will see that. Now, I'm going to try to make this bigger so that you can see this clearly. Do you see this on the wall?
Yeah.
These tiles are absolutely, absolutely spectacular. They are so pretty. We have samples inside our sales gallery, so there's no guessing. We just updated all these recently, so it's not like this is exactly what we're putting in. And look at this powder room. Isn't that so pretty?
Beautiful.
Once again, all Italian cabinetry. This is one of the other bathrooms, primary bathroom. You're going to have 2 sinks. you're going to have, some of them have oval tubs. Once again, you'll have very pretty tiles with all the samples here. This is another depiction of another different type of bathroom. I wrote here on the side, just so you have it, these finishers are not being offered for the waterfront, and that all apartments are Miele appliances. Once again, I bring this up because the non-waterfront apartments had a quartz countertop, and they had a combination of a white and brown appearance. And obviously this was an older rendering where this is Gagano, which is not accurate. So I put down on the bottom, just so you know.
They all have anything. Okay.
This is our kitchen. Isn't that, I just love this kitchen.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
And this is, by the way, you're going to get a speed oven and a regular oven. So you're going to have an air fryer in there. You're going to have all sorts of nice tidbits. You're going to have an integrated refrigerator. You're going to have an integrated dishwasher, so that when you have the nice open concept for your kitchen, it's going to look like a living room. It's going to look really nice. You're going to have a big, deep, oversized sink in your kitchen and beautiful chrome finishes on your sinks. Once again, this was one of the other kitchens that were offered in the smaller apartment that I had on the eastern part of the building. This was one of the other options they had. You could either have it this way or this way. This is one of the bedrooms. It does not include this on the walls. This is just an artistic design. This just shows water view. Once again, this is a picture of the pool. This is our fact sheet, which I'm going to send you the updated one for the Dropbox, because believe it or not, this is updated just slightly. There's been some changes. So for example, we have all quartzite on all the cabinets, and we just changed a bunch of things. This is just the map. This is our actual model. I took a picture of this inside our sales gallery, just so you can have some idea. Once again, this is the 1 line, the 2 line, and the 3 line.
And it's so nice. It's so nice for clients to come in and see it, because it does show them where it will be sitting. We can show them exactly where it's being built and the feel of the island. So Dawn, tell us how many residents you have left out of the 23, right?
Yeah, well, we had a very busy last 3 weeks, which, you know, as a salesperson, can't get better than that. So we only have 10 left. We are 50% sold, or a little more than 50% sold. I do have this one I'm showing you right here, and I wanted to bring it up to you so that, you know, just so people can actually see an example of what, you know, let's say my corner unit, which is my southwest. And just so you know, on each of them, I do have a little key. So once again, if you ever wanted to combine a unit, so you can see here. But this one, for example, is my 301, which is my least expensive. We just released it not too long ago, of a southwest corner unit that's 2,872 square feet. Right now, that's a beautiful, it's a 3-bedroom plus a den, 3.5 baths. And once again, take a look at that great room I was talking about, the 29.5 feet. And then the kitchen's an additional 21. So it's really a wonderful entertaining space with beautiful balconies. And what's nice here is that each of the bedrooms here all have access to a balcony.
And the bedrooms are large. The bedrooms are large. They are 14 by 12.
And look at this, the primary bedroom is 20 by 14.1. And, you know, listen, it's got a really big walk-in closet. And this is that master bathroom with the round tub. And then there's the separate den. Now look at the size of the den. The den is 14.7 by 11.3. And like I said, he has, for some of our residents, he has added a door here, which is also nice. Here you have a full-size washer and dryer and a separate laundry room, so it's not in a closet. Although I do have one unit that has one in a closet. Everyone else I have a full-size laundry room in a separate room, which is quite nice. This one is sold. This one is.
And it looked like that one had 4 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had a powder room and it has a bathroom in each little room. Plus bathroom in the master. That's great.
Now this one right here, 402, I'm also showing you this floor plan just so you have some idea. Right now, this is my least expensive entry level for the waterfront. We sold the 3rd floor. As a matter of fact, I saw the buyer this morning and brought them over to the site. He actually came by. And this is a 2-bedroom plus a den, 2.5 baths. Once again, really, Natalie, take a look at the square footage here. I mean, most people, depending on where they're living now, I don't know what size they live in their homes or what they are, but I'm from New York, and single family homes are about 2,500 square feet or even less. So the interior square footage here is 2,560 square feet for our 2-bedroom and den.
Well, what they did is they also gave privacy to the people buying and living in this property. Look, you have 2 separate rooms with the view as well, but the whole flow through of the dining room, the breakfast, and the living room goes all the way out to the balcony. So it's a great entertainment area, but also you have your privacy too. That's amazing. They did a great job.
I mean, it's just like I said, this is considered a luxury product. And once again, the developer said, if I'm going to have luxury, we need to have square footage. And on top of it, he was able to offer one of the best price per square foot, starting at somewhere just over 1,265 square foot. Now, for your residents that are not familiar with Bay Harbor Island, it's important to note that new construction on Bay Harbor Island is going to almost $2,000 a square foot. So depending on where they are or when they bought, the only reason why my developer is able to offer less money price per square foot, and Natalie, we never got a chance to chat about this, is that my developer is also the builder. So we don't have a middleman. We don't have a middleman. So we were able to pass on the savings to the buyers without giving up a sense of luxury and high-end finishes, because this is definitely a boutique high-end finishes. We are going to have a beach and spa membership, as I mentioned before. That is not including the fact you're also going to get Reforming Pilates and La Salon, all walking distance, and basically that's it.
Right. And the whole island, what's wonderful about the island that I see, I lived in Sunny Isles for 8 years, so and this island is right down the street from us. What I like about this island, first of all, has an amazing school, a fire department and a police department of their own. So it's very, very safe and secure. So what you see are kids, you're seeing families walking around the island. So you feel that energy of exercise, of health, and well-being. It's really wonderful. It's very close to the bridge to just walk over to the the Bay Harbor Shops, which is one of the most beautiful shopping malls.
Actually, Bell Harbor. It's Bell Harbor.
And then there's also amazing restaurants there down that street that you showed before. Not to mention the beach, something different from Sunny Isles to the Ball Harbor Beach is that Ball Harbor has its very own walking path / running path. I like to run, and also bike path. They do not.
You can go all the way to the point. You can go all the way past Sunny Isles, all the way to downtown.
Yeah,
It's really an amazing opportunity. And like I said, some of the things that are nice. Look, we're already 4 months ahead of our building schedule. We were originally supposed to deliver 4th quarter 2016. I met with the construction people just on Friday, and we are literally probably going to deliver in June of next year. Now, we are still telling people that it's going to be the end of 2nd quarter, third quarter to 4th quarter, but I have a very good authority that we will be delivering sometime by end of June next year. So we're going to do delivering. It's there is a sense of security for the buyers, knowing we're going to deliver so soon, and you're still able to get some nice deals done at this point.
Okay, so let's recap really good. There's 2 parking spots, you say?
Yep, you're going to get 2 parking spots. In addition, you're going to have valet and 24-hour concierge. Your concierge can help coordinate whether or not you want to pick up the freebie, which is that free ride if you're interested in, or whether or not you want to do it yourself, as well as setting up La Salon or being able to go to the beach, etc.
And how's the HOAs? What are those looking like?
Oh, they're actually very good. We priced it at $1.40.
Oh,
which
that is
great. That's a good price because look, the developer said, you know what, during the summer months, if there are not a lot of residents that are staying here, now we do have, of the 10 residents that we've already sold, I believe there's at least 3 of the families will be there all year round. So it is the possibility for all year round as well. It's not just people coming back and forth. But maybe the valet might be the front desk person. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have to see how that goes, but they're still offering it. But in general, a lot of people like to park their own car.
So Dawn, one question that I get from my investors and from my buyers is, how does your building, just give me 1 or 2 main reasons, how does your building stand apart from everyone else that is being built right now?
Oh, well, that's very easy. Very easy. Western waterfront, high-end finishes, and some of the largest square footages in terms of floor plans that are offered. Most of the other ones around the island, although they're quite lovely buildings as well, we never want to talk negative about our neighbors. But our floor plans are significantly larger. In some case, almost 1,000 square feet larger for around the same price. So the price per square foot, we tend to be running a little bit easier. Like I said, the way my developer is able to do it is that we don't have a middleman in our building.
Exactly. Well, thank you again, Dawn, for presenting this amazing project. I'm sure my clients are absolutely going to love it. And we'll contact you directly. We'll come in and see your beautiful face and just touch and feel this project, because you actually have to step into it,
And one of the things that's really important for all of your buyers and your agents, please, if you're going to contact me, please tell me that you came from Natalie so that I know that Natalie was instrumental in putting this in front of you. I really would appreciate that.
Well, hopefully they're going to call me and get my special tour of the island as well before we come and see you. So,
yes, anytime.
Right. But thanks again, Dawn. It's absolutely such amazing a project. So we need to get these buyers seeing the project before it's completely sold out. Like you mentioned, we only have 10 left. And this is a boutique building. It's a boutique island. There is no more land left.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
Let's get this out to them. And thanks once again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing everyone soon, and I'm always available for questions if you have any.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye-bye.